Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, April 22nd, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about my core plays for today, as well as my top GPP stacks from my article over at WeBetATS.com. But without further ado, we're going to get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. We're going to start off at the pitcher position with Joe Ryan, $8,200, got to 43 points. He was a hit. He was the third overall pitcher on the slate and the top mid-range priced pitcher. So definitely a great hit there. Then we had Sheldon Neuse, who was $2,600, got to 22.2 points. So he was a really, really good hit yesterday. He was the top second baseman. I believe he was either the top third baseman or the second third baseman as well if you play him at third base. Very good hit regardless. Then we had Francisco Lindor at $4,400, got to 27.9 points. He was a hit. He was the top shortstop on the slate. And then we had Josh Naylor, $2,400, 19.2 points. He was a really good hit as well. Top first baseman on the slate. I think he was like the third or fourth outfielder if you did play him at that position as well. And then last but not least, we had Luis Robert, $3,600, got to 9 points, gave him a hit as well. So we had three top guys, the top mid-range price pitcher, and then still a productive outfielder at Luis Robert at 9 points. If you went with these guys, you had over 120 points just from these 5 players alone. So if you pick 4 other decent players with that and you had some salary to do that, you had a really big day yesterday. So 5 for 5 day, can't really complain here. Definitely good to see. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the picks for today. We're going to start off at the pitcher position with Michael Kopech. $9,500, averaging 24 points on the season so far. Hasn't pitched too deep in the games. There's not like a lot of pitchers I'm like crazy about today. Everybody's pretty fairly priced. So I do like the upside of Michael Kopech. Hopefully he gets to that 6 innings so we can get a quality start and a win out of him against the Twins today. He's had pretty good success against these Minnesota Twins hitters, so definitely have a lot of interest in him today. Doesn't hurt that I am also a White Sox fan at the same time, and I think the White Sox are one of my favorite teams to stack today as well, so we do have a couple hitters there from the White Sox. We got Jose Abreu at first base, $3,500, only averaging just over 8 on the season. You know, hopefully this is kind of the time he starts kicking it on, but 4 for 10 with a home run against Bailey Ober, who's pitching today for the Twins. Definitely have a lot of interest in him. Then we'll go down to his teammate real quick since we're talking White Sox. Eloy Jimenez at $3,200. You know, a fairly reasonable price tag there. Fantasy points not where we want him to be at this point in the season, but 2 for 3 against Bailey Ober towards the end of last year, obviously. Definitely has some success there, and hopefully he can continue it once again today. Then we'll bounce back up to third base with Anthony Rendon, $3,000. Decent price tag there, a lot of interest there. Going against Bruce Zimmerman, who actually has pitched rather well so far this season. Not sure that's going to be the norm, but Anthony Rendon has no history against him, but has been kind of turning on in the last week or so. So definitely have a lot of interest in him at $3,000. And then last but not least, we have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa once again. This is probably the third time this month I've actually used this guy, $2,500. Reasonable price tag there. 2 for 5 against Eli Morgan, who's pitching for the Cleveland Guardians today with the home run. So definitely has a ton of upside, especially at that $2,500 price tag, averaging over 7 points there. Even if you just get the 7, you're going to be pretty happy with him today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players, you have $13,300 remaining, just over $3,300 per player. Definitely a lot of different ways you can mix and match on today's slate overall, especially given the fact that there is like 13 games on the main slate today. But with that being said, we'll move over to my top GPP stacks from my article over at WeBetATS.com. So definitely check this out too, especially for the cheat sheet. But for this portion, we'll be talking just about the top GPP stacks. I got the Phillies going against Freddie Peralta today. You know, when people think Freddie Peralta, they think about the guy that was really, really good last year. A lot of these Phillies hitters have very good history against him, especially Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos. I believe Didi Gregorius has got a home run against him too, as well as Rhys Hoskins. So 4 guys with home runs against him, pretty decent track record. Maybe if you think Freddie Peralta is going to be Freddie Peralta of old of last year, so maybe people aren't stacking these Phillies, but I think there's a good opportunity there. Talking about the White Sox, who we've already talked about going against Bailey Ober. They have a decent track record versus him in a very, very small sample size. Then the Rangers going against Adam Oller today. Obviously, a young rookie pitcher. Hasn't really improved much at this point in time. And then last but not least, we got the Yankees going against Eli Morgan for the Cleveland Guardians. You know, kind of middle-of-the-road pitcher. Still a relatively young pitcher as well. So those are the ones that I'd be looking at for the top GPP stacks for today. Definitely some opportunities to get different. And the ownership shouldn't be too high on tonight's slate, given that it is a 13-game main slate. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as my top GPP stacks for today, April 22nd. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's somebody from my core, whether it's somebody from my top GPP stacks, or somebody completely different that you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's MLB, whether it's NBA, whether it's NFL, and now whether it's USFL as well. Going to be having a video coming out relatively shortly after this video talking about some USFL for this week in terms of DFS. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.